This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so happy Monday. Today is Monday, August 19th, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. All right, so I know I left a little bit early on Friday, but it looks like everything that we pretty much were expecting to happen ended up happening, and then over the weekend, obviously, we can see a lot of the name brand stocks taking a pretty big jump overnight. So should definitely be able to see a lot going on there, but keep in mind we are at the end of August and it is a Monday. So we've got a few good things on our list so far. Now, first thing is DPW. So a little bit interesting, just going back all the way to all the prints. I mean, this thing's been running, but we really haven't gotten anything that great. You can see right here on that 8 level, we just got a couple prints, but they're a little bit mixed, and I'm just a little bit shocked to see something take this big of a jump, especially jumping up from 2 all the way up to our highs of pretty much 950, and really not give a great show of hand within there, pretty much almost at any point. Now, one thing that I do want to take a look at is if you look at 836 over here, the stock was not trading anywhere near this. These obviously have to be out of sequence. Okay, but remember what we talked about with these. When we see big bursts like this, we want to be bullish above and bearish below. Now, unfortunately, it's kind of already happened. We're already way above that point. So really what we're looking for right now is not only a show of hand, and we need new buying to come in order for us to be able to stay up here, but what I'm looking for is I wanted to hold this technical analysis part, basically the 750 level. As long as we hold around that 750 and we stay in this consolidation, no reason to trigger towards that upside. We can't make it towards that 10. The only problem we have though is if you look at that 9 level, the 9 doesn't really have much buying. I mean, you have a couple prints here or there, but it wasn't like we had somebody come in and really show us that this thing needs to come back up. So biggest point is, the two biggest things I'm going to be looking for is number one, to hold that 750 level and this consolidation that we have sitting right here. And number two, is to get continued new buying to come in to really show us that the stock needs to get, to make more of a movement towards that upside, especially, 10 being such a huge psychological number. As soon as if we do kind of break past those highs, 10 is going to be pretty easy to start acting as a magnet. So not looking too bad at all, but it obviously has got to fit into the variables that we just talked about. Next thing looking at is YUMA, Y-U-M-A. So it's a little bit all over the place, but the actual moves themselves had volume behind them. That's really what I like to see. So coming back over to that 3, we got another one. We got a little bit of buying, but not really anything that's that crazy up there. So, we're coming up towards this 350 level. We can see it did not hit 350 the first time pushing up to it and ended up coming back down. Like I said, it just doesn't really have that much buying that's sitting there. It did have a good volume that pushed it up, but like I said, at the highs, and that's really what I'm looking for, is to see if we do get buying at the highs to show it needs to go above where we're looking at it. And unfortunately, like I said, it's just not really there. So again, we're going to really want to be able to see this thing hold this consolidation right around that 260, 250 area. And then obviously new buying is going to be very important, which we're getting. It's just sporadic. You can see, I mean, you have a little burst here, a little burst there, a little burst there. Nothing to really show, okay, this person has to make their money yet. So another one that, has a nice setup, just doesn't really have that great of prints behind it. Next thing looking at is PCG. So we all know about PCG. We've traded this many, many times, and it is taking a hit this morning. So coming down towards this 1050 area, you could see new selling. I mean, it's basically only been new selling. We had some ask prints that came in at that 11 level, which we're going to have to kind of pull back up because it looks like riders, especially with the selling that's coming back in. But if you look, anything underneath that 11 level on the second time down has been selling. So certainly, a nice show of hand, nice new selling coming back into it. But once again, like we said, at that 11, we're going to want to see this selling kind of push up on those riders a little bit, make a little bit of money towards that top before we end up seeing them trigger the stock back down. Obviously, going to be an exception, usually moves $1.23. We can see today it's already moved, $4.50. So there's going to be a lot of exception in it, but usually it's a pretty decent trade. Wait, 11 Plaza change. Yes, so that 11 level, that's where we have our buying right here. Those riders that came back in, if that's what you were asking. So overall, nice looking stock. I'm coming back in. Yes, it's certainly getting it. Not only did it get crushed, but it's continuing to get crushed. And like I said, seeing that selling coming in, there's really nothing but selling underneath this spot, underneath that 11 level. All right, next thing we're looking at is WB. So this is towards the bottom of my list, but you know what? On average, moves about $1.50. The volume usually isn't that great. That's why we could see 260,000 shares already being traded. Definitely like what I see there for this, to be able to move more than we usually would see it. The only thing again is that I just haven't really seen that great show of hand. 39.50, yes, we got a nice little burst there, but we're already $1 away from there. So what I'm going to need to see is some type of new buying up at those highs. Otherwise, we're going to end up coming right back down. I would start at that 39.50 level. And then obviously, if we break 39.50, there's a pretty big gap underneath there. So overall, it just doesn't have the prints yet, but it definitely gives us definitely has a nice setup there. And that's what we're going to be looking for the show of hand to come in. And then from there, it's going to tell us how we're going to be able to trade that setup itself. All right, and other than that, that's pretty much what I got. Let's take a look at our scanners. Let's see if we have anything new that jumped in here. So DPW we already know about, Yuma 552 we already know about. CGA new, but nothing there. Dries is not really a trade. JackX jumped and then came right back down. Nothing really there for us, and nothing new at all. And then moving over to the loser side of things, we have pretty much everything we already knew about. Some ETFs and PCG. So overall, nothing really, nothing too much going on there. I have an options floater to see STNE. Let's take a look. Nada. Absolutely nothing. 8 a.m. had bid at 32, but that's it. I mean, there's just nothing going on there whatsoever. And then any new buying in Apple? No, this morning I actually saw some bid prints in there, though. If you look, you can see as we get getting towards those highs, 210.60s, 210.70s has pretty much been all selling from what we've seen this morning so far. So all the bigger prints in Apple have been selling. And then Uber is going to be, yes, Uber, absolutely. Because remember, Uber needed to pull up above that 35. I told, we've talked about it a million times. Well, guess what? It's above 35. We knew that was going to have to happen. So absolutely going to be looking for that as well, Camille. Looking for Baba to come back. Well, absolutely. Based off the selling that we saw on Friday, we got to that 175. I know right before I left, I saw like that little thing, the little shimmy that we saw coming in there. So we made it to that 175. And then it just jumped up like everything else. There's really not much substance behind what we saw, within this this move towards that upside. So gonna follow the same prints that we were talking about on Friday. Yes, Uber is definitely back in play. All right, guys, anything else out there that I missed? Any other stocks that I missed? All right, I think that's Lyft. I'll take a look, but I highly doubt Lyft is going to be doing much. Yeah, nothing really going on in Lyft yet. I would focus on Uber just because we have such a better story going into it. All right, guys, let's get ready for our morning. I will talk to everyone in the chat, and happy trading.